Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. If you want to join me on my daily live streams, check out my link in the comments in the description. I'm streaming on my backup channel, the Good Free Photos channel. Also, I have another crypto channel, Crypto Daily Updates, and that'll gather all the day's great news into one video. But right now, we're going to talk about big explosive news in the crypto industry. Just today, we have noticed that Ethereum and EOS are actually part of the Chinese blockchain network, the national blockchain network, the Chinese BSN. It's actually in their white paper. Those are the only two public blockchains that are actually in the network. So VeChain has actually not been mentioned in that white paper, but Ethereum and EOS actually has. There are other players, but most of them are private. There's Hyperledger Fabric, which is like Linux Foundation / IBM. There's this thing called like Xchain or whatever. And there's a bunch of other private chains, but the only two public protocols to actually try to garner some kind of trust are Ethereum and EOS. But there is a caveat for this, though. There's definitely a caveat for this, because even though Ethereum and EOS actually have been named as public blockchains, that public protocols, people in China will not be able to access their nodes. So most likely they're not going to use the actual Ethereum and EOS tokens. I'm not really sure how this is going to help Ethereum and EOS price because of Chinese regulations. And they actually admitted, due to Chinese regulations and their closed system of government, where, like the government basically controls everything, it's really hard for any public blockchain to actually work with the Chinese government, because obviously the government's not open and free, as we all know. So they actually are. I'm trying to figure out how this will actually benefit Ethereum and EOS, but it's good that they're actually part of the blockchain alliance. So, like, I'm not really bullish on EOS, but right now, if you hold any EOS, I would say keep on holding. Of course, if you're holding Ethereum, keep on holding the Ethereum. But if you're holding the EOS, I would say at least keep on holding the EOS. I don't know if I would say buy more, but I would say hold on to it for a little while, because there might be some FOMO coming with the Chinese BSN actually having EOS as part of the network. Like I said, I don't really know how much it's actually going to utilize EOS, because like in China, you can't access any of the nodes or really like do much with the token. And I don't think you're going to be able to use Ethereum token or EOS token as part of this BSN within China. But if other countries are trying to connect to the BSN, they actually might be able to use the Ethereum or EOS protocol to actually connect within China. So that's the news right now. There's actually not much. There's not much else. They didn't say they're going to use like EOS or Ethereum as payment. All I know is that you can actually. All that we know right now. There's a white paper. It's in Chinese, however. And it's very hard to read, but we know that they're going through Ethereum and EOS as their public blockchains. But because China's not very open, you can't access Ethereum and EOS nodes even within this blockchain network within China. So they're still trying to legally figure out how to actually make this work. So that's the news for today. It's very good news for Ethereum and EOS, but a caveat that you can't access their nodes in China even for the purposes of this BSN. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.